All right, y'all. Today we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. Gonna check out its local and city search. Actually, combined this time. See if it has BSS. Back here in the GBC universe, we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, F6 is our North Star. Full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pinned video, home video, wherever. It's because F6 explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our full spectrum intent capture here in white. Got our highest intent peeps over on the left. There's people using social search, Google search, looking for a boudoir photo shoot in their city today. Over on the right, we got the lowest intent people, and we deal with those with our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where we talk about BLCS, and we're currently only working with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. But here, these videos talk about BSS. And BSS is boudoir search sameness. That means a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google. Both are terrible. If we got 0 slots page 1 on Google, that means we're page 2 or deeper. And we know that approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2, which means 80% of people, they're page 1 only searches, which means page 1 is the only place that matters. Page 2 and deeper, we're basically dead. 1 slot. If we got 1 slot on page 1 Google, that ain't enough. And that ain't enough because everyone else has got 1 slot as well. Some people may have 2. And so we're going to be, price shop to death. Buyers just going to go down, hit each link, open up their website, contact them, price shop, negotiate, price shop. And, just the killer for every boudoir photography business. Now, 0-1 slots of page 1 of Google is not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. It's extremely common. Everyone accepts it as normal, but it's not. There's 2 deeper root causes: market saturation, which basically everyone knows about, and then the false belief of page 1 equality. Market saturation, yeah, people get a new iPhone, get a new camera, get new gear. They throw up their Google Maps profile, saying they shoot boudoir. They throw up their website, saying they shoot boudoir, compete on page 1 for the high intent keywords with us, and they also they also come in, through like COVID. That was like a big market saturation. People lost their jobs, but everyone has a smartphone with awesome cameras. So a ton of new boudoir photographers came through. And, that's more sellers for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every seller to win, every individual seller to win. Now, the false belief of page 1 equality, this is an interesting one because from what I've discovered seems like nearly all boudoir photographers kind of accept this, except that, I don't know, each boudoir photographer should either get 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google, and however the dice falls, that's simply what it is. Maybe they had 1 slot page 1, then someone new came in, ranked their website higher, they got, and it pushed them off to page 2, and it's like, okay, well, that's simply how it is, and that's how it is. But in fact, we've discovered that Google will actually give as many page 1 slots as someone wants to put in the effort to acquire. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google to 9 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google page 1 in only 10 days using this new strategy that we developed, that you'll see in 2 pictures here. Now, boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer. So if we're on page, we got 0 slots on page 1, we're on page 2 or deeper, and we're missing, approximately 80% of searches never even seeing us. Yeah, we're definitely disappearing boudoir photographer. If we got 1 slot on page 1, we're still invisible. We're disappearing boudoir photographer. And this is kind of the first sign, the canary in the coal mine, the blinking warning light telling us that, basically telling us that our boudoir photography business is on the path to disappearing once this happens. So this is our micro universe here. Disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the 2 horns of market saturation and page 1 equality. There is a false belief of page 1 equality. But thankfully, finally, we have a solution. We know that BSS is treated with social search saturation, S-cubed methodology. And the way it works is right in the name, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest intent buyer, boudoir buyer keywords to show up there. And when we do show up there, we're dominating social search. That's kind of like the backside of the Andes Mountains down in South America, where the snow is melting. It's flowing into small, small streams, small rivers, and eventually at the end it flows into the Amazon River. That Amazon River is page one on Google, but we first got to get the snow and the small rivers, small streams first. The inputs, that's saturating social search. And what's awesome about SQ methodology is it's the only thing that I've seen for boudoir photographers that can allow a boudoir photography business to continue to grow in the face of market saturation in a reasonable time and successfully compete against market saturation. The only other thing that I've seen that can do it obviously is a brand, massive well-known brand. But dude, that takes 5 to 10 years to actually acquire. We ain't got 5 to 10 years anymore, dude. We got AI coming, taking people's jobs, gonna force more people to be, into the photography market as photographers. We don't have time to rely 5 to 10 years to create a brand anymore. But now, an example of how SQ methodology, can allow boudoir photography business to grow in the face of massive market saturation. Let's say got 1 million boudoir photographers in Topeka, Kansas, and we're one of them. Everyone's got their website saying they do boudoir, and as a result, we are actually now competing against, we got 999,999 other competitors. And so competition is super fierce on page one of Google. So we crank up SQ methodology to the max. And let's say we're able to get the first 300 slots for like all the highest intent keywords across all social media search platforms. And let's say as a result, that flows onto Google. And let's say we got the first 300 slots on Google as well. And there's 10 slots per organic slots per page on Google. So we're taking up the first 30 pages. A buyer literally basically needs to go to page 31 to essentially find any of our competitors. Same if they search anywhere in social media as well. We're taking up all those first 300 slots. So whose business is growing in this case? Ours. Why? Because we're basically the only ones seen anywhere. We're seen. Everywhere someone searches, we're there taking up all the slots. And so, even though there's massive market saturation, we're still the business that's growing, and everyone else is disappearing, slowing down, shrinking, going away. So that's the magic of SQ methodology. Next, once treated with SQ methodology, we have page one visibility. And so, we got the first initial benefit, which is more page one slots. The second initial benefit is every new slot we take on page one, we actually are kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. Because now we know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page two. So we're making them invisible to, 4 out of every 5 people, approximately 80% of the market, the bulk of the market. And we're getting like double, triple, quadruple the exposure. And page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So this is where the GBC recommended minimum of 3 slots comes in, because basically everyone else is going to have 1 slot. Our 3 slots going to dominate them. And there's also going to be a small chance someone could have 2 slots, but we're going to dominate them as well because we got 3. That's what BSV means. And boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, VBP. So it's our micro universe. We got a disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness. It's caused by the dual horns of market saturation and, most importantly, the false belief of page one inequality, which we now know is false, which we'll see my results with it, proving it false in the next picture. Finally, thankfully, thank the universe, we finally got the solution, S-cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become visible boudoir photographers with boudoir search visibility. All right, dude. So now my results using S-cube methodology for myself. So I want to rank for the, you can see right here, the words BLCS boudoir. I want to dominate page one on Google for these words. So I purely used my S-cubed methodology. Come down here to the organic slots here. So I start with 0 slots on page one. And here we go. First organic slot, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page one in Google to 9 out of 10 slots page one on Google in only 10 days, exclusively utilizing S-cubed methodology. Now, main event here. Gonna check out this Boudoir Photography business. Gonna check out its local and city search. Looks like we got them combined here. See if they got BSS. So we're going to Waynesboro, PA. All right, yeah, this one was too far from like another big city. So Waynesboro, PA. All right, that's actually good. We got we'll give them a 1 for this. They got the AI overview here, ranked number 1. Nice. So we got 1. We got 2. We got 3. We got 4. We got 5. We got 6. We got 7. Yo, nice. All right, so we got 7 out of 10, insanely good. So we do not have BSS. We did meet the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one on Google search. Awesome. And we almost hit our 8 out of 10 level to say when we're dominating page one on Google search. We put that at 8 out of 10, but that's pretty rare. I think we've got 2 people at 7 right now, I believe. So man, this is as good as it gets here. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've done your local searches, your city searches with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, and you're seen in, you had BSS for at least one of them, or you did not hit the GBC recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 slots page one Google search for at least one of them, those high intent keyword searches. And you've accepted the false belief of page one equality is exactly that, a false belief. You kind of broken through that mental barrier and understand, wow, Google will actually give us as many page one slots on Google as we want. And you have, you've decided you need the solids. You're seeing S-cubed methodology is the only solution for this. You like the initial benefits, which is, 1 slot, more slots page one Google search. You like the other initial benefit, kicking your competing boudoir photographers off page one, relegating them page 2 or deeper, making them invisible. You actually like that one the best. And you understand market saturation. Yeah, more peeps, new gear over time, more boudoir photographers over time, blah, blah, blah. And you're looking ahead and you're saying, wow, AI is taking a lot of people's jobs right now. And last time a lot of people lost their jobs, COVID, massive market saturation occurred. So you're like, uh-oh, even more market saturation is going to occur this time because this is actually going to be permanent job losses as AI is taking more and more people's jobs as it gets more, as AI gets more and more powerful. So you're like, all right, there's going to be more and more big flood of boudoir photographers into my area competing. So you're actually realizing you actually have to fortify your position on page one, not just get these slots, but actually fortify your position so much where you have so many backup links that Google wants to rank for you on page one, but you've already taken up too many slots, or Google puts those links, page 2, 3, and 4, and you're kind of filling up those positions where Google wants to rank those on page one, but you already got too many slots. You've already basically taken all of them up. And so you want to fill up kind of your backlog of links to fortify your position, kind of like fortifying the levees down in Nolens, Louisiana, because that city is, below sea level. Fortify your position so basically no other current competing boudoir photographer can ever rank page one Google search, and also so that basically no other new boudoir photographer coming in to the marketplace because they lost their job to AI can ever rank page one Google search either. And you're seeing for that benefit to do that fortification, S-cube methodology is the only solution out there that enables that benefit with the massive number of links that it can produce. And you want to achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility, because you understand that you need these things in order to be on your path to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. You also like the future benefits of SQ methodology. Building a brand approximately 8x faster than normal methods, because we're doing so much more volume across so many more surfaces than anyone else in your area. And you're actually you also understand doing SQ methodology is building up all these invisible thematic keyword columns, a cluster of keywords that we're plugging into your brand, kind of out there in the internet, invisible cyberspace. Your brand name, your website, your business name, your social handle names, kind of connecting to all those. And this feeds into the AI, backend AI mindshare with those keywords. And as a result, every day you successfully execute SQ methodology, we are increasing the probability that AI recommends us in search positions such as this, AI overview, most premium search placement here. It's organic. Nobody can pay for this. And also increased probability of showing up in AI search apps, ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. And these AI search apps increasing, dude, every single day in usage. Google standard search slowly declining every single day in usage. And the last time I did search for boudoir photographers with AI search in a city, it was a ChatGPT that gave me 3. I actually then went and did a manual search, Google and Facebook. And dude, I found like 60. So we need to get these AI overview slots and chat AI chat app recommendation slots, one of these 3 as fast as possible, because this is where all the attention's going. So you're seeing SQ methodology as the only solution out there that can enable all this in a relatively quick time frame. And you also understand that since I'm only working with one boudoir photographer per city as my current plan, that you can actually get all these benefits, build up a massive gap between your competitors, and actually prevent your competitors from using this technology. And for that reason, you've decided to become be a #1, first mover in your city for this technology. And that's because you understand the converse, where if one of your boudoir photographer competitors signs on with me first, they're getting all these extra page 1 links, pushing you off page 2, 3, 4 deeper, fortifying it themselves page 1, so you'll basically never have a shot to ever even rank page 1 Google search. Building up the backend AI keyword mindshare, massive gap between you and them, kind of that mindshare momentum. And in order for you to compete, you'd have to actually rederive S-cubed methodology. You'd also have to increase, basically, well, you'd have to equal our output, but all that would every single day, but all that would do is, maintain the gap me and your competitor currently have ahead of you. So you'd have to actually outwork us 2 to 3x every single day, but you're not even 100% confident you've derived the strategy, the technology correctly in the first place. And so as a result, you are, you'd have to you wouldn't even be confident to put in the time. And if you did, you'd be like, man, who's got 80 hours to do all this work? So as a result, hearing all this, like, yeah, screw that. I ain't doing all that. You decide to be the first mover. Hit us up first, be the first one in your city to utilize this new technology. So if that's you, shoot us a DM. The hospital is currently closed to new patients for new patient intake, but once we open the hospital for new patient intake, shoot us a DM and we will see if you qualify for utilizing our S-cubed methodology.